As I told you earlier as well, that we're gonna discuss the second part of the dark tourism as well. So here I am with the second part of the same, stating these various types of dark tourism. According to Stone, there are seven main types of the dark tourism sites. First is the dark fun factories. Fun factories are essentially the play centers where they are usually associated with children's. They can also be aimed at adults. There are, for example, escape rooms which evolve around a dark theme, zombie chases, or theatrical activities that all take place in dark fun factories. You can see over here some themed parks for such as the Dark City over here. A play is going on the screen on the stage, showing up clown and a baby on the screen. Then we have the second category is the dark exhibitions. There are many different dark exhibitions throughout the world. I visited several during my travel to Berlin that were focused on the Holocaust. I visited exhibitions on the Khmer regime in Cambodia. I have been to exhibition about the Vietnam War and many more. The dark exhibitions are a good opportunity for tourists to learn about the dark histories or events of a destination in a respectful way. As you can see, these are some human skull situated in one of the dark tourism site. Third is the dark dungeons. Many destinations open their historical dungeons for public viewing. These may be in their original stage or they may have been altered for tours. The London dungeons, for example, have become rather Disneyfied in the way that they encompass live actors, sensory activities, and rides. You can see the images of that particular location on the screen right now. Then we have the dark resting places. These are some really interesting cemeteries that we have visited throughout the world. Whilst visiting a graveyard might not be at the top of every tourist list, you might be surprised at just how busy these places can be. Some famous cemeteries that I have visited, including the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem, the Recoleta Cemetery in Argentina, and the Lenin Mausoleum in Moscow. Do you ever know the Taj Mahal is also a dark resting place? This is the inner portion of the Taj Mahal. This is the promotion for the Jerusalem cemetery, and this is the area of the Taj Mahal where the dead bodies of the king and the queen are being buried over here. And it is a tourist destination place, as you all know. Dark shrines. There are many shrines throughout the world which are popular tourist attraction, perhaps themes famous being the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. Shrines are especially popular in the Asian countries. Then let's talk about the dark conflict sites. The sites of conflict often became dark tourism sites once peace has been restored and a reasonable period of time has passed. One of the most interesting conflict sites that I have visited was Vietnam, where I learned all about the Vietnam War. The D-Day beaches in France were also very interesting. Then we have the dark camps of genocides. The term genocide means the deliberate and systematic destruction of a group of people because of their ethnicity, nationality, religion, or race. There are several areas of genocide which are popular with tourists. Whilst that is obvious a sad history, many people choose to visit such sites as Karaganda, Kazakhstan to learn more about the history. The dark disasters. Disaster sites, whether in the immediate aftermath or after some time has passed, are popular with dark tourist. A subset of dark tourism, disaster tourism, has increased in popularity in recent years. The recent documentary on Chernobyl, which was ranked the most highly user rated TV series ever, has helped raise awareness of the disaster tourism amongst the public, and the tourism to this area has since increased significantly. There are variety of types of dark tourism that falls under the pillar of dark tourism, which includes the Holocaust tourism, disaster tourism, grave tourism, Cold War tourism, nuclear tourism, prison and prosecution site tourism. Thank you.